Hey folks, JJ coming to you from the downtown studios of Jewitt Guitars in lovely Cleveland, Ohio, the home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And if you've never been to Cleveland, you need to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It is quite a, well, it's just a great place to go. Anyways, today I'm going to show you kind of a new build. Not really. It's a dreadnought type guitar, and I haven't built a dreadnought since I think the last one I built was for my brother back in about 2016. So it has been a while. But anyways, this is a different kind of dreadnought. This is, well, first of all, this is a Mod D, or modified dreadnought, and we inaugurated this new build for us with, well, I guess you can see that now. That is the tree mahogany. Before we get back into those sides and back, though, let me talk a little bit about this body shape. A Mod D, as I said, stands for modified dreadnought. It was originally inspired, developed, I think whatever you want to call it, by Ervin Somogyi, maybe back in the 70s, early 80s, I think I heard him say. Anyways, the point is that he wanted the projection and power of a dreadnought guitar with its large body shape and body volume, but one that fit more comfortably in the player's lap, more like an OM or maybe even a small jumbo, so more kind of like a fingerstyle guitar. And he did that by moving the sound hole and the waist, making the waist a little bit more pinched in here than a normal dreadnought. But we're still keeping the volume of it. It's just a little bit longer than a dreadnought, I think by about 1/4 of an inch. But we still have almost 4 inches up here at the neck and almost 5 inches down here at the tail. So it's got a lot of volume to the body, which aids in the projection and power. And we also, for this particular model, we were influenced, I want to say, but guided and helped along by the likes of Jason Costel and my friend Michelle Abudib with the bracing for this, which is mostly a Somogyi style of bracing. And the type of bracing that we use on this is twofold, or done for 2 reasons. Number one, we can use a little bit thinner top than normally. And this is an Adirondack Spruce top, so we're going with a little bit thinner top. And the bracing is designed to push or emphasize the bass. The bass we want on this thing is like hitting that of a grand piano. And I think you can hear that coming through. Anyways, by pushing the bass, we get obviously a louder guitar, but a much more dynamic range to it. And if you are a player that really likes bass, well, then this is the body style for you. But let's go over some of the few features on this Mod D. We'll start with the top. As I said, we use a Adirondack Spruce, an absolute premium grade of Adirondack Spruce. In this case, it's even old growth Adirondack Spruce. Very clean, and it's got that telltale, kind of red stripes or red bands at the edges of it that'll let you know that it's Adirondack Red Spruce. The rosette that we used on this is in with the theme of the guitar, in that we used Brazilian rosewood for the rosette. We used Brazilian rosewood for the fretboard, Brazilian rosewood for the peg head, Brazilian rosewood for the back strap, and it's also got a Brazilian rosewood bridge. And to top it all off, we used Brazilian rosewood for the heel cap here and Brazilian rosewood for the tail wedge. So it's got a lot of Brazilian rosewood on it, and that was per the customer request. The back and sides of this are the legendary and amazing tree mahogany. The customer actually supplied this to us I'll get maybe some better close-ups of this during the video. But this is just a stellar example of the tree with that classic tortoiseshell figuring and color, as well as the sound. You'll hear that in just a sec. Going over some of the other features on this, what we did was we used Goto 510 with the Cosmo finish for the tuners. We haven't put them on yet, but we have Brazilian tuner knobs that were custom ordered for this guitar, and those will be put on in just a sec. We have a bone nut, which is 1 3/4, a bone saddle, which is 2 1/4, ebony pins, as I said, a Brazilian bridge, and fingerboard. We've got a nice Brazilian rosewood, which I forgot to mention, binding theme that goes around the entire front and the back of the guitar. And for the purfling, what we did was something that we do on a lot of guitars that are using really extraordinary woods. We used a black maple, black purfling, and the black line is very thin, 10 thousandths. Yeah, 10 thousandths, and then we go do a 30 thousandths strip of very curly maple, and then we have another 10 thousandths of black. And what that does, if you look down at the purfling, you can really see that flame figure on it. We've got it on the purfling that goes around the rosette, and we also used it on the line that goes up underneath the fretboard, which you probably can't see, and then goes straight up and connects into the peg head here. And all my peg heads these days are sandwiched between 4 pieces of veneer. 1 for the peg head, 1 maple veneer behind that, the mahogany of course, and then the maple, and then Brazilian. So we've got 4 pieces of veneer sandwiched on that peg head, which gives it a lot of support and strength. I've also carved a fairly deep volute on the neck, and what I do is I position that volute right so that when the crook of your thumb and forefinger hit it like that, you're in automatically the first position. So you can look at the audience or look out at your friends or whatever, and when you're down here, you know you're in first position. I've got mother of pearl, large mother of pearl, 3/32 inch dots that go up to define the fretboard dots. And those are large so that you can see them, and it allows you to navigate really easily on the fretboard. I don't have anything on this part of the fretboard because I really want that Brazilian figure to come through. I've got a kind of what we're now knowing as a mini bevel, but take my word for it, this really does work and takes a lot of strain and I guess pressure off your forearm. Because this is a bigger guitar, almost like about, 4.5 inches here at least, if not a little bit more, it does make it very comfortable to play. And that particular arm bevel is East Indian rosewood. I wanted a little bit of a different color on it. As I said, we've got Brazilian binding on it, and this particular set of the tree is just a classic set of the tree mahogany in that it's got that nice tortoiseshell figuring, particularly going down that back strap, or the back strip. That's about it. Let's see, anything else? I talked about the bracing a little bit. As I said, it's Somogyi inspired bracing. So there's no scalloping on this bracing. It's all tapered, and it is designed for a thinner top. And so by making the top thinner, we really get, some good bass, some good projection. I think I'm out of tune, but anyways, we'll get this thing tuned up and be prepared for a listen. Thanks again for listening.